Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Wednesday, May the 8th. Mother's Day coming up, I guess, this weekend. This morning, we're going to make some plans here. On the last video, we discovered our ring gear and the flywheel is pretty much toast. So I'm going to have to replace either the ring gear or the flywheel, and probably I'm just going to find a used flywheel with ring gear that's in better shape and put that on. So to do that, I'm going to have to actually pull the motor right off of the rear of the transmission case. And to do that, I got to get rid of this A-frame. I wasn't expecting to pull the motor, so I didn't pull the darn A-frame for the blade off. So now we're left with a little bit of a task trying to get this off. We're kind of surrounded by just about everything else around on the place. So let's get after that project today.
Well, I guess I changed my mind because, well, I can do that. Let's go and work at these old rusted injectors first before we get after that blade.
This is an example of the set of 4. Actually, there's a total of 6, but there's a set of 4 and another 2 different injectors off these D47J8043US7 CAD engines. These poor fellas were left in a coffee can, a steel coffee can, so it's pretty old already. They're all sitting in a coffee can, no top on it, but probably underneath a tarp on the trailer outside, probably for a decade. And it got full of water, and this is the result. So I don't know if we're going to be able to recover any of these here injectors, but we're going to start cleaning them up. Okay, there's one of them cleaned up. Took most of the outside rust off. I'm just going to think that there's probably a little rust inside for sure, but these are pretty high tensile steel, you know, polished hard grade steel inside, so I don't think that they're going to rust any. Inside they'll be contaminated with dirt, and notably they never had the right tools to take these off, so there's chisel marks on this big gland nut. Guys do what they have to do. They even sliced a huge chunk off of that flat right there. It's almost all gone, but anyway, we're going to continue clean up the other 3. This is number 3, and I just can't get over the original rustiness of the whole thing. It looks like it'll never be a good injector again, but I'm hoping that we can clean them up. Man, they look disgusting. Okay, there's a set of 4 cleaned up pretty good. I'm still going to soak them and blow them with air and all kinds of stuff like that. And I see there's a copper washer here on all of them, right here, and these I don't know what you call them there. Looks like you can grab them with a tool and open them up and probably pull some internals out. And I was thinking I might go ahead and do so with it. And I'm just noticing now this one is a total, it's not a total different one, but it only has this wrench type grippy area and the body, and these ones are 2 grippy areas with the ring in between up high on the body. Other than that, they are all the same, and it's got clearly stamped that I can see, probably the camera can't see, it says 4 1/4 bore only, and these are made by Bosch. So that's step one in cleaning these up, and I might, because this is different, I think I'll put it in the vise and maybe try to get it open. I'll just be gentle with it with a pipe wrench. I don't have that tool that's going to go over there, that's for sure. So I'm just going to try that and see what we got inside. As you can see, that's pretty darn corroded and rusty in there, so chances of these ever working again are pretty minimal. But we're going to try cleaning this up, see what we can come up with. I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I got the body of that injector because I couldn't break it apart and I didn't want to use the torch on it. So initially I'm just going to try boiling it in some water, get some heat in there somehow, break the rust so I can get the body split and pull the spring loading mechanism out of the body. Okay, I've got, since I had them in the vise, I've got all these parts pulled apart and splayed out here. I've buffed them and sand, what do you call it, emery clothed some parts and soaked in diesel and worked them back and forth, and I got them all freed up here. So I'm just going to go through the sequence of putting it back together. To start out with, this is the main body of the injector. It's almost fully disassembled, except I could not get this fitting broke out of the main body. I heated them up with boiling water and whatnot, trying to be a little gentle with it, but it still wouldn't break free, and tapped the body, and it still is not breaking free. This is a metric wrench. You can get 11/16 on it, but I think it's actually metric size. I don't have the right wrench here, but so my only alternate plan is to heat it with the torch, this body. I don't think there can be any damage done to it. It's just regular forged steel, tooled steel. So this should be able to come out. But inside is the spring mechanism, which applies pressure to the poppet valve at the tip. This is the adjustment assembly that goes into the top of the main body. This pin goes right into the body and pushes on a fitting that applies pressure to that spring internally, and you adjust the spring pressure by turning this adjusting screw, much like a tappet on a valve system, like engine valves. And you can adjust the pressure there, but you need testing equipment like to set the pressure. So all that was on there was a locking nut. I did not adjust the depth of this screw into this fitting here, so that should remain the same. So it had this locking nut. Seems to be a little rough there, but there was a locking nut that would lock that setting into position, like so. And then this other nut ran up onto the body of this assembly to lock it into the top of the, like the top part of the injector. Get that run on, and it only went up to that area there. That's where it was originally. I'm not going to tighten these down because I'm going to take them apart again, and I don't have any small wire brushes, wire brushes there to go into ports and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to go through all of that, clean them out again. Not that these will ever work again, but I'm just not going to tighten them up until I clean them out, because I do have a plan in the back of my mind that these will work again. So anyway, that's the top of that, and then in between that was a copper ring for the gasket, and this was tightened right down, and that's the top end of the injector. This is the gland nut, and it has a specially shaped washer, and this one does have the original, I think it's a cork gasket there, but it's damaged. It needs a new one. So this is the big gland nut, and then it would slide on just like that before you get the rest of the assembly on. And this gasket would seat it into the injector sleeve when you get it on the block. This is the working end that's actually inside the combustion chamber. Right now there is no disc in it with a hole right in the center. I don't know if you can actually see daylight through it. And I don't have a tip small enough. There is a fine hole right in the center of that disc, but I don't have a cleaning tip that would go through that. This shinier surface faced the inside of the injector, and this side was facing the combustion chamber. Okay, I got that to eventually seat back down in there in the right orientation. That side facing the combustion chamber. Next up we have these two pieces. This is the pin that would go inside the center here and just emerge flush with the end here. And this here is actually moving in and out real nice. It seems like it's in good shape. I managed to clean that up, and I'll show you what I did to get that to free up, soaking it in diesel fuel and just lapping it. I just put it in my cordless, got it soaking in diesel fuel, and it's locked up in there. So it goes in there really nice now, but originally it did not. So I just locked it onto the what do you call it there, the jaws of my cordless drill, and just turned it around like that in diesel fuel, and it's cleaned up quite nice. So they're functioning. At any rate, there is a notch here in this body that has two, and you can't see it, I don't have enough light in here to light it up, but there is a pin keyway in there that has to line up and push down inside. So we'll go ahead and get that in there. Amazingly, that went in there really nice. It's lined up. Everything is seated down into the body there. Next is just screwing these back together and torquing them up. These old style serviceable injectors are actually quite simple. Pressure feed goes in, builds, sends it down to the bottom, builds up pressure, and I'm not sure on the actual pressure if it's 1200, 15, 2500. I'd have to look it up, see what it's supposed to be set at, but it goes down there, and once that pressure is achieved, the pressure pushes that poppet up against the spring that's in this body and releases the stroke of diesel fuel out through the very fine tip here and atomizes it. And I believe that if that tip is clogged, this works the same, but it'll go up and push it up higher, and it'll bypass that fuel, and somehow or another, I believe it ends up at the top end of here, where this there's a banjo bolt with a brass ring gasket goes up there. I've never seen any oil, diesel fuel dripping out of any of my injectors there, but I believe that's what would happen if that tip got plugged. It would just send the oil back up into this line, and of course that line in those days, it just went down straight to the ground. Well, that's pretty much all we got for now. I got this back together again. It's loosely connected. It's not torqued up or anything. It's just so I don't lose the parts. I got to do a little bit better cleaning of it, but yeah, it was just an exercise in curiosity, tear it apart, see how these serviceable injectors are built and how they go together and come apart and so on and so forth. I'm waiting. I'm going to have to get some better cleaning, some tips and brushes, and like wire brushes, so find two little brushes that can go through these ports and clean that right out. Maybe take it to a bead blaster, just the bodies, and get that apart. I'm going to try to get it all apart and then heat up this body with the torch and take the spring out, because it's got obviously rust in there. It's going to have to be cleaned. So yeah, anyway, that's our diesel service for the day. Not to take any market share from people like the professionals like ADS or Area Diesel Service or any people like that, but we just satisfied curiosity, see if we can get it apart, put it back together, see what's wrong with it. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the parts, except that they're contaminated with rust and stuff. So I'm gonna have to clean that out, and then later on, when I get my D4 up here, the one with a bad injector or two, we'll do the upside down injectors. They put it upside down into the port there and try them out, see which ones are spraying properly and whatnot. Anyway, that's all we got for now. We will catch up to you later. Okay, I'm getting ready to unhook this A-frame there from the cat. I just got to undo these two big bolts on this side, two on the other side, to let it go past the trunnions. And we're going to drag it ahead far enough that I can sweep it out from the tracks. Just sweep it out this, to my way here, and just get rid of it totally. Just get it out of here. To pull it forward, I've got this C-can ahead of me. I don't think the A-frame is going to pull the C-can this way, so I got a chain laid out there. I'm just going to tie it up as close as I can to the front of this blade. Going to come in here with the forklift and pick up the whole thing, the chain, high, and that should pull that A-frame ahead 6 feet or so, I hope, anyway. And we'll see. This top one is going to be all right. This bottom one has been on there, and it's this is pretty mushroom, so I'm going to take the zip grinder and cut it off short. There's no use dragging that nut through all those damaged threads. There's no threads there at all, so we'll get that going, then go to the other side. You got some bigger bags.
Yeah, I think so. They're the biggest ones they have. I asked about our bag. They said they only work if you're in the city.
Oh. Figures. That was easy. Damn straight.
Makes it look a lot smaller, doesn't it?
What's that, Phil?
Makes it look a lot smaller.
Yeah. Okay, that's accomplished for the day. We got our A-frame out of here. By the time we got them big bolts out of there, that was a workout. I'm going to drag this away, just drag it away with the forklift and park it off to the side down the road for now. And meanwhile, I've got some good news on some parts. A friend of mine, or a guy I know that's just up north of me here, he's got an old D4 block laying on his side of his yard, just with a flywheel on it. So I'm going to go take a look at it and probably have a replacement for this, and then I'll check that out well, probably tomorrow. And moving ahead from that, we got a plan to separate this. Might as well separate it now and get it done with. So that's going to be the end of the video, and so we'll catch up to you later. Bye for now.